That, I would like to welcome and introduce our two honored guests and beloved artists, Pat Humphreys and Sandy O of Emma's Revolution. You can give them a big silent whatever. Welcome, welcome.
Nice to see you all.
Nice to see you. Nice to be with you all.
And our very beloved Melanie DeMore. Woohoo! Thank you, Melanie. These folks and I go back a long way. It's just such a joy to be here, and I'll introduce them a little more fully when they do their solos. But we're going to start off together, and in the only way on Zoom that we can do it together, which is playing tandem verses. And this is a song that I wrote that's a gathering song. And it is, speaking of gathering the women, we are, of course, gathering in any gender that we are here. All genders are welcome. And we're going to try to share this song together. So here we go. The chorus that you can all sing along is, gather the women, gather the women, gather the women, let the circle begin. Gather the mothers, sisters and daughters, come to the waters where the circle never ends. So try that with me. Here we go. Gather the women, gather the women, gather the women, let the circle begin. Gather the mothers, sisters and daughters, come to the waters where the circle never ends. We go into some verses, and the way the verses work is a lead voice like me in this case sings a line, and then you have a response which is, gather the women, let the circle begin. And then the lead voice does another original verse, a line rather, and you come in with, come to the waters where the circle never ends. I think you have these lyrics, so you're welcome to sing on all of it, or you can play echo if it's fun. Here we go. Women of vision, women of wisdom, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women who speak their minds, women who listen, come to the waters where the circle never ends. Take it, Pat and Sandy.
Women who vigil, women who protest, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women who dig the earth, women who harvest, come to the waters, let the circle never ends.
Gather the women, that's right. Gather the women, let the circle begin. Gather the mothers, sisters and daughters, come to the waters where the circle never ends. Take it, Mel.
Women in war zones, crossing the borders, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women who break apart, women who heal, come to the waters where the circle never ends.
Women of colors, women of courage, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women of hunger, women of privilege, come to the waters where the circle never ends.
Gather the women. Gather the women. Gather the women. Whoa. Gather the women. Let the circle begin. The mothers. Gather the mothers. Sisters and daughters. Come to the waters where the circle never ends.
Water protectors, land rights defenders, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women in prison, women in prayer, come to the waters where the circle never ends.
Women of chaos,
let the circle begin. Gather the mothers, sisters and daughters, come to the waters where the circle never ends. Come to the waters, come to the waters where the circle never ends. Yeah. Woo! Thank you, Melanie and Sandy and Pat.
Pardon me, Betsy. This is Marianne with a sound check.
Thank you.
Melanie, your microphone is a bit lower than the other two.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah.
People were having a harder time hearing you. And Betsy, yours might be a little hot because it was some maybe some clipping.
Thank you. Yeah, I turned it down a little. I'll turn it down some more.
Okay.
Great. All right. Well, I feel thoroughly gathered. And one of the things we always do on the series, excuse me, getting my throat cleared out here, that got me going, is we take a moment to just arrive a little more fully. Some of us bring candles, and I have a candle lit here in front of the statue of Kuan Yin, who is the Buddhist bodhisattva of compassion, infinite compassion, who I've been calling on a great deal in the last year on behalf of myself, but on behalf of all of you and all our sisters and brothers and four-leggeds and wingeds. So we just want to take a minute to settle in here and really be aware that we have arrived in a special place, in a different kind of space than maybe our ordinary daily life to some degree. So if you're comfortable, if you'd like to, you can just close your eyes or just soften your eyes. If you have a candle and you want to light it, that would be beautiful. And just take a few deep breaths. And just notice you, just you, your precious body, your precious energies, the emotions you bring to the evening, the thoughts, the experiences of the day. And just with your breath, just send some love, some peace, some appreciation to yourself, getting through another day. I know we come to these kind of events seeking renewal, whether we're doing great today or not so great. We know that we need this. We need each other. We need music. We need song. So just a few more deep breaths. Let your hands relax and your face relax. Sink a little deeper into whatever you're seated in. Feel your feet making contact with whatever surface you got there, whatever version of Mother Earth is pressing against your feet. Knowing as we touch this wood or carpet or whatever, that below us is the earth, ancient, sustaining us for time out of mind. And acknowledging that the land has been tended and stewarded and cared for by indigenous people for many, many hundreds, if not thousands of years before those of us in this room arrived. So we acknowledge that. And for this night about women, also acknowledge that we are standing on the shoulders of so many women, those we know of and those we don't know of. We are not alone. We have a lineage. All the women in the song that we gathered, the farmers, the protesters, all of those women, lineage. So breathe in, knowing that you've got a stream of lineage and ancestors behind you, and a stream of descendants before you in the future, and you're just part of this flow. And think if it comes to you, think of one woman that you particularly think of as a lineage, an ancestor, someone who has made a difference in your life. Someone you know, it could be someone historic or don't know. A woman on whose shoulders you know you stand. Women behind me, women before me, gather the women, let the circle begin. Women who teach us, women who love us, come to the waters where the circle never ends. Thank you for joining me in that. Oh, yeah. Marianne, I've turned myself down, but I know I speak a little softly. Am I getting through when I talk? Am I okay?
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
Good, thank you. Let me know, because I do get kind of soft sometimes. All right, well, now it is my great, great pleasure to introduce the first of our guest artists. And these are two women that I know everybody here knows and loves already. And we're so lucky to spend this time with you, Pat and Sandy. And I've known Pat particularly from way back. Pat and I shared a stage in Cambridge, Mass. And I think it might have been my farewell concert before I left Boston. Is that right? And
Yep.
that was my opening act. Terrible expression. She opened, she filled, she soared, she finished. She was, she was a total delight. I'll never forget that night, Pat. And then in comes Sandy into the mix. And you two women have been doing such incredible work for so long. I went on your website because I thought, I wonder what, their official presentation is. Found out a couple of interesting things. Didn't know that you have sung for the Dalai Lama. That's pretty powerful. I know that
It's not actually us. Our song was sung for the Dalai
your songs were
Lama.
sung. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think of my. Do you know that one of my songs has been sung by Tina Turner?
Wow.
I know. Well, that's a whole other story. I won't even say anything about that. But it's just funny how songs travel. It's a beautiful thing. Anyway, some of your songs, Pat, are just classics. We know that. Anyway, and you've got a new CD, I believe, Revolution Now.
It's the newest that we have.
Newest you have, exactly.
It could be newer, but it's the latest that we have. We've got a ton of songs that came out since then that we just haven't created into a CD.
I hear you. I think we're all in the same boat, us artists on that one. But you're just part of our living room, and yet you guys are like really a big deal. I'm looking, you were listed on radio stations across the country. Top artist, number 20, right after Joan Baez. Top song, 25, right after Rhiannon Giddens. Oh. So now that I've thoroughly embarrassed you, would you share a couple of songs?
No, it's so great. You brought up all these things that we had to sort of clarify, which was because that's the nature of now. And we're so glad to be with you tonight to share some songs and to be in the company of women who love to sing and women who love to be sung to and with, and everyone who's joining us of all genders. So we are grateful for your invitation to be here.
So we'll start with a song I wrote a number of years ago for a refugee and immigrant women's group called the Refugee and Immigrant Women's Network down just outside of Atlanta. And it is also one that has a line that you can sing with us at the end of each, right? So I'm a refugee. Oh yeah, and then also Hear My Voice. Hear My Voice is the one that repeats sort of throughout, the part that Sandy sings. But each one of the stanzas that I sing will also end in either "So I am a refugee" and "I am a refugee," something along those lines.
So let me give you this part. Go ahead, Pat. What's your key gonna be so I can do the Hear My Voice? So the part that we sing is "Hear my voice." And you can try that. And of course, you can sing any harmony you want. Try it with me. Hear my voice. Like that.
Women in search of safety, children in need of food, struggling for our freedom, so I am a refugee. Women of hope and courage, living through poverty, fleeing from war and terror, so I am a refugee. I am a teacher, I am a worker, I am a woman, and I am a refugee. I am a mother, I am a daughter, I am a sister, and I am a refugee. Fighting for education, speaking my native tongue, practicing my religion, so I am a refugee. Powerful and resilient, seeing my people through, sharing my truth and wisdom, so I am a refugee. I am a speaker, I am a dancer, I am a singer, and I am a refugee. I am a writer, I am a lawyer, I am a fighter, and I am a refugee. Women will come together, linking our destinies, guided by intuition, no longer a refugee. Women of strength and beauty, driven by faith and heart, moving our people forward, no longer a refugee. I am a builder, I am a seeker, I am a dreamer, and I am a refugee. I am a leader, I am a healer, I am the future, and I am a refugee. I am a leader, I am a healer, I am the future, and I am a refugee. Hear my voice.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Are we doing one song and
Are we doing
popping
this round
around?
robin style too?
Two.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Shall we do?
Yes, we shall. Let's do it.
Okay.
This is very formal, people. This is what I have noticed in pandemic land is that everything requires what our friend Lydia Violet calls clumsy grace. So whatever those things are that are going on, tech, strangeness, all of that stuff, you just chalk it up to clumsy grace. You smile and you say, I'm here in pandemic land and this is where we're at. I love seeing all the choirs that are in the house, some of whom we've gotten to be able to sing with over the years. The Aurora Women's Chorus, I saw their name fly by, the Rainbow Women's Chorus in San Jose. So wonderful.
Women with Wings.
Women with Wings, nice.
Are also here from Maine.
This is probably the first song that Pat and I ever sang together.
Possibly, yeah.
I went to a women's college called Bryn Mawr College in Pennsylvania, and I went to Bryn Mawr College because they had a tradition of singing and also of kind of having events where you had to wear a black robe and like walk around with a lantern at night. And I just thought that was so cool. That is why I went to that school. And I learned songs like Holly Near's We Are a Gentle Angry People. And this next song, which was written about the workers' strikes in Lawrence, Massachusetts, early in the 1900s, when women were working these intense 12-hour days, not getting paid anything. Women, children, men, everybody.
In the textile mills.
And I learned this song, and then years later, Pat and I were going to be doing a tour that I was organizing with my friend from college of women singers to women's colleges for Women's History Month. And we said, let's do a song together. And I had come up with this arrangement of this song. So you might know this song, and you're welcome to sing along. It's going to be a slightly different feel, but it all fits together.
As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, a million darkened kitchens, 1,000 thousand willows gray are touched with all the radiance that a sudden sun discloses. For the people hear us singing, bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we battle to for men, for they are women's children. Let the mothers speak again. Our lives shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead go crying through our singing, their ancient call for bread, small art and love and beauty, their drudging spirits new. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we go marching, marching, people hear our call, for the rising of the women means the rising of us all. No more the drudge and idler, tend the toil when one reposes, but a sharing of life's glories, bread and roses, bread and roses.
Thanks so much.
Oh, you know, no matter how many times I sing or hear that song, I always cry. I always cry. It is so beautiful. I'm so glad you did that tonight. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, now it's just such a pleasure to introduce Melanie DeMore, who is just so loved, so known. I think a lot of the choirs here have probably done workshops with Mel. I would imagine that that's some of the choir turnout here. And I do want to say the chat is very active tonight. And I have mixed feelings about that because I know we're so hungry for community and we can't schmooze in the lobby at the intermission. So we got the chat. So I allow the chat. I'm down with the chat, but I do encourage you to take a break and just listen as well, right? Just because. Okay, so Melanie. Now Melanie and I also go way back. I don't even remember. I think the early Women's Music Festival days even. You think, Mel? I feel like I met you at one of the festivals.
Somewhere
I
down the
don't,
line, baby.
it's the mists of history. But I also went on your website and you have got the coolest bio of any website I've ever seen. Whoever wrote your bio, I want to hire her. It's so good, folks. You have to go looking. So here's some things I learned.
Oh, wow.
Well, this is common knowledge. This is much known, but it's worth mentioning. She's a founding member of the Grammy-nominated vocal ensemble Linda Tillery and the Cultural Heritage Choir. Yay, thank you. Fabulous music. You guys have done such good work. And her superpower is she's known to the mothers of screaming babies as a human pacifier and known to the parents of difficult children as the child whisperer. Who knew? Oh, Melanie, I'm not going to say anymore because I just want to hear you sing, please.
Hi, fam. How you doing? It is so good. Let me see. Yeah, there you are. I always like to go to gallery view because I already know what I look like, but you look beautiful, and it's good to be here. Thanks, Betsy, and of course, anytime I get a chance to be anywhere with Emma's Rev, I'm all about that. I love that. So you can hear me pretty well. I want to start out with a song that I wrote called Rise Up. Now, I have lately dedicated this song to Rutha Harris, and Rutha Harris was an original member of the Freedom Singers. She was there when John Lewis made his speech. She was there when Dr. King said, I have a dream. And I helped her celebrate her 80th birthday the other day. She is still singing in the trenches. So I dedicated this song to her. And here we go. And you can join us, sister. Don't leave me hanging all by myself. Now, come on. Don't leave me hanging. Here's how it goes. Rise up, and take your place. Move to the head of the line. Join the human race. No more denying. Open your eyes and see. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. So when that comes around the next time, just jump on in and clap. Move your head. And keep on singing. You got a right to feed your children and help them grow up strong. How can they face the future if they're hungry all day long? So rise up, and take your place. Move to the head of the line. Join the human race. No more denying. Open your eyes and see. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. And you got a right to be angry at a system that has failed to honor all its people. You got a right to be heard. So rise up, and take your place. Move to the head of the line. Join the human race. No more denying. Open your eyes and see. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. And you got a right to be his sister, brother, people, family. You got a seat here at the table. Sit on down right next to me and rise up, and take your place. Move to the head of the line. Join the human race. No more denying. Open your eyes and see. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. You got a right, sure as you're breathing. You got a right to be free. Yes, you do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, Mel, there's a lot of chat about your Gullah sticks. I think you might want to introduce them to the audience.
Do we have one more song?
We do. Go
Next
for it.
time?
Yeah, right now.
You have three altogether?
Yep. Do another one now, and then we'll do another one later. How about that?
We'll do the Gullah sticks later.
Very good. Very good. Just letting you know there's interest.
Oh, no worries. I got you, fam. Don't worry. Now, we're going to do this song together, and you all know it. And with all the things that have been going on out there, this song has come back to me, and I sing it often. And we're going to sing it together. And with the lynching of George Floyd, for all of us walking around in our beautiful black skin, we were, of course, traumatized over and over and over again. And this song has been with me. It's been in my medicine bag for this whole time, and you all know it. And what most people don't realize, it's a Gullah spiritual from the Gullah South Sea Islands of the United States. And everyone knows it, and most people have no idea what the song is really about. And you will promise me that you will, right hand up, that you will never, ever, 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 ever use the words a kumbaya moment ever again. It has nothing whatsoever to do with this song. So I did an introduction and I want you to sing. I want there to be harmony. I want you to throw your heads back and put yourself in the middle of this song. All around our wounded planet, folks are on their knees, looking to their gods and asking, can you help us please? How do we get so far away from the love you gave? What happened to the light and love? Hear us as we pray. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Come by here, my Lord. Come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. As we are weeping, Lord, come by here. We are weeping, my Lord, please come by here. We are weeping, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. For our babies, Lord, come by here. For our baby, my Lord, please come by here. For our babies, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. For all people, Lord, come by here. For all people, my Lord, please come by here. For all people, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, please come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here.
Oh, thanks for that, Mel. Wow. You've really taken that song back for us and helped us to own it in a really different way.
than my childhood. So thank you. Ooh, I want to just continue in that tone. I don't want to break that mood, so I'm going to do a quiet song as well. And the songs I feel like singing tonight are quite international, and this is an international celebration. And I've had such good fortune in being able to live internationally when I was a child. But not more significantly, but just differently, I spent about 8 months in 2016 traveling through Asia and Africa and Europe. And Europe was more family and other things, but the Asia and Africa part was meeting with women and children, mostly women, and singing with them and learning from them about their community projects, their grassroots women's empowerment work. And it was life-changing, I'm sure you can imagine. And this song came to me when I came back. I was back, and I don't know how long it was after when Me Too broke through. I think it might have been 2017. And I got back in 2016. And many of the women I met around the world, especially the women I spent some really significant time in Kenya with, were women who were finding ways for women to earn a living without having to sell their bodies or sell their children. Very basic, this has got to stop. And there's a lot of things right now that have to stop, and we know that. So this song came to me, inspired by women I met traveling and women right here in the US, right around the corner. It's called One Day You'll Know. I better get the words up. I get into the mood and I forget to put my words up, and then just keep that mood. Don't go away. Okay, here we go. You see me at the market stall, my baby's round my feet. Your pennies for a bag of fruit, that's one more day we'll eat. You see me at the brothel, 200 shillings, make it short. You see me with your judging eyes, you never see my worth. Do you know I have dreams? Do you know I have wings? One day you'll know. You see me at the office, you joke and touch and tease. You promise that promotion for a little late night squeeze. But how little is a little? Why should I weigh the cost? How can a woman measure what she'll gain, what she's lost? Do you know I have dreams? Do you know I have wings? One day you'll know. You see me scrubbing toilets and changing dirty sheets, hustling your ham and eggs, or hustling the streets, or standing at the water cooler, laughing with the rest, swallowing that burning coal of anger in my chest. Do you know what we'd say if we knew we were safe? Do you know what it's cost? Do you know what we've lost? Do you know we have dreams? Do you know we have wings? one day you'll know. Thank you. Whew, boy, that made me choke up. I haven't sung that for a while. Before I left on my trip, I was thinking about the girls I was going to meet, and because I did a lot of singing in schools and orphanages and wherever children gathered, and so I want to do something about girl power. But actually, as I recall now, this was a big deal for me to take off for 8 months on my own with a backpack and a guitar at the age of 65. It took a little of something, and I lost my nerve several times. I almost backed out several times. I thought, this is too big. You're being, overly ambitious. Let it go, blah, blah. And so I know I wrote this song for me. Even it sounds like it's for girls, but it was definitely for me. So what I did was I wrote this song we're going to sing called Girls Be Strong. And you've got it in your lyrics. And we're going to sing the original verses that I wrote. And my dream and what I did was to teach it to girls in Kathmandu and Thailand and Liberia and wherever, and then have them write their own verse about what girl power meant to them in their country and in their culture. Because all my images are from a US point of view. And I knew they were going to have other stuff to say. So I'm going to sing some of their verses for you after we do most of the original Betsy ones. So it goes, this is so easy. I wish you could play the Gullah sticks. Oh my God. But anyway, make some rhythm, folks. Goes like this. Girls be strong. We can kick a goal, run a marathon. Hike up a mountain, do you want to come along? Girls be strong. If you don't have lyrics, you can just catch that last line because it's always the same as the first line of every verse. Girls be smart at chemistry, poetry, math, and art. Good with our minds, good with our hearts. Girls be smart. Sing that with me. Girls be smart. Great. Girls stand tall. Stand up for ourselves, stand up for you all. Help each other when we take a fall. Girls stand tall. Sing that. Girls stand tall. Girls can cry. Don't have to bottle it up inside. And we can laugh so hard it'll split the sky. Girls can cry. Let's do it. Girls can cry. Girls can fly. Got the wind and the wings and an open sky. Don't know what you can do till you give it a try. Girls can fly. Oh yeah. All right. So let's hear what the girls from Kathmandu had to say. And I especially wanted to include a couple of verses from Nepal because brief moment here to just let you know, and I'll say more later, that tonight your donations, which we're so grateful for, and we hope they come pouring in, not only honors the artist's work and keeps them going for another day, but some of it is going to go to a project in Nepal. It's a youth project called Wall of Hope, and I worked with them when I was in Nepal, and it's about violence against women. And these young people are on fire. They're on fire about this because, they know this is real. They know that some of them come from, or know families where the girl children have been sold for just poverty, just because of poverty. So they're very into this. So here's a couple of verses that they wrote. This one is Girls Have Dreams. So you can sing that with me. Here we go. Girls have dreams. We can share our talent like a shining beam. We can make a difference because we're all a team. Girls have dreams. And some younger girls, middle school, those were high school girls. These are middle school girls saying, girls are brave. We got a lot to do. We got a world to save. We know we can do it. That's how we're made. Girls are brave. I've got a ton of these, but I'm just going to do one more. These are from girls in Totota village in Liberia, where I spent time with women who were part of the women's peace movement that stopped the civil war in Liberia and got the dictator, Charles, Taylor, got him deposed, got the warlords to lay down their arms. This was a coalition of Christian and Muslim women, which was very unusual in that country. And they just, I could tell you so many stories about what they did nonviolently to disarm their country. It was remarkable. So these girls wrote this verse about their visions. Girls won't quit. We'll be nurses, singers, we'll be president, businesswomen, surgeon, pastor, and friend. Girls won't quit. All right. Oh, I can't resist one more. St. Francis School, Naivasha, Kenya, where I spent some of the most amazing time. Here we go. Girls unite. We will come together. We will bring the light. Our dreams are not beyond our sight. Girls unite. And now we're going to sing the last verse that's in your lyrics. Girls, be strong. If you know what I mean, you can sing along. Girls, be strong. If you know what I mean, you can sing along. Girls, be making up a brand new song. Girls, be strong. Woo! Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Any of you singers there, you can have that song. Please take it. Take it, run with it. I noticed Marianne did put the donation info in the chat. Thanks a lot for that, Marianne. And there's also a link to this Wall of Hope project. They're raising money right now. That's why we're raising money right now. They're doing a youth speak out on March 8th in Kathmandu, where youth from all over Kathmandu have submitted videos of them making a speech or creating a video about violence against women, reading poetry. It's a juried festival where 10 young people are selected to come from all parts of the country to Kathmandu for a big youth speak out festival. So that is what some of our funds are going to tonight. So take a look at their link and yay, that was totally fun. All right, well, let us move right on to our beloved Emma's Revolution for one more song from you.
Thank you so much. We are so inspired by that song and thinking about girls and the power of girls and the power of young women and the power of young people. And so we wanted to sing this song that was inspired by Greta Thunberg and the other young climate activists. Greta is the young 16, well, she was 16 at the time when she sat down outside the Swedish parliament and refused to go to school and started a school strike. And then that school strike just went around the world with other young people around the world taking part. And of course, there had been young people who had been raising attention and awareness about their own climate injustices. And many of them, Greta has done the right thing and turned the spotlight on so many activists of color, young women and young men and young people who are bringing attention to climate change and our need to change that. And I saw someone put in the chat about just having come from a Sunrise Movement meeting, and those are young people leading on climate. So there's a part for you. The part for you is that you get to sing, put out the fire, put out the fire, put out the fire, our house is on fire. I think that's the right key too, here we go. Put out the fire, put out the fire, put out the fire, our house is on fire. Put out the fire, put out the fire, put
Without the fire, our house is on fire.
We love you. We hear you. We commit to change our ways. Not later, but sooner. Right now. For your future. Youth can't wait.
Put out the fire.
Women can't wait.
Put out the fire.
Life can't wait.
Put out the fire. Our house is on fire.
For our children.
Put out the fire.
And their children.
Put out the fire.
And their children.
Put out the fire. Our house is on fire.
For songbirds. For clean air. For the oceans and the bays. Not later, but sooner. Right now. For the future. Melting glaciers.
Put out the fire.
Rising seas.
Put out the fire.
Bleaching coral.
Put out the fire. Our house is on fire.
Shrinking shorelines.
Put out the fire.
Sinking islands.
Put out the fire.
Growing dry lands.
Put out the fire. Our house is on fire.
Let bees live. Let trees grow. Let the snow fall where it may. Not later, but sooner. Right now. For the future. Right now. For the future. Right now. We are here to put out the fire. This is how we put out the fire. Time is now. We put out the fire.
Our house is on fire.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so much. You know, we're doing so well with time. We might get you back for another one. We'll see how it goes, but we're ahead of schedule. And people who are regulars here know that never happens. I chronically run 5 to 10 minutes over. So tonight could be, I'm going to make it run over just for the sake of tradition. But anyway, thank you. I've heard you do that somewhere, somewhere out in the streets. I think it's really fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. All right, Melanie, back to you.
Love me some Emma's Rev. I'm just saying. Just saying. Let me just turn that off. Okay. So, the sticks. And if you see behind me, these are the sticks of the San Francisco LGBTQ RSD UVWXYZ choir. Yes. And so, as you can see that is what makes them a family. That is their common language, the little sparkly parts. And this is all part of a whole thing that I do with the big stick pounding piece that I wrote. And this is from the Gullah Sea Islands, that tradition. And I have a pair here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a song that you know, but we're going to throw a little Gullah gravy on it. So it starts out like this. And in these days, family, we have to do this. You just have to. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine. Deep down in my heart, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So in the Gullah tradition, when the spirit lifts you and it starts to feel real good, the tempo speeds up. All around the world, you know, I'm gonna let it shine. You know that all around shine. This little light, this little light, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, this little light, this little light of mine. This little light, this little light, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, this little light, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light, this little light, this little light, I'm gonna let it shine. 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 There you go. Let it shine, people.
I scrolled through the gallery to see if people were moving. Because if they weren't moving, I was going to have a word with them. People were definitely moving, Mel.
Pound on, babies, pound on.
Pound on, pound on. Yes.
When we get back to whatever our new normal is, we're gonna get together, we're gonna make sticks, and we're gonna pound.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Oh, okay. So before I do my song, I've got a poem I'm going to read, y'all. I've been wanting to read this at these Thursday gatherings, and I just haven't found the right night. And somehow this moment feels like the right moment. It is a poem by Marge Piercy. And I'm sure many of you, at least in my generation or a bit younger, are familiar with Marge Piercy, one of the great feminist poets that I was first exposed to back in my 20s, and was just such an impactful writer and artist. So I want to lift up her voice today. And I just feel like it's a poem of encouragement. It says how things are, it names things as they are, but it also names what's possible. And I need to hear all of that. So it's called The Low Road. What can they do to you? Whatever they want. They can set you up. They can bust your fingers. They can burn your brain with electricity, blur you with drugs till you can't walk, can't remember. They can take your child, wall up your lover. They can do anything. You can't stop them from doing. How can you stop them? Alone, you can fight, you can refuse, you can take what revenge you can, but they roll over you. But two people fighting back to back can cut through a mob. A snake dancing file can break a cordon. An army can meet an army. Two people can keep each other sane, can give support, conviction, love, massage, hope, sex. Three people are a delegation, a committee, a wedge. With four, you can play bridge and start an organization. With six, you can rent a whole house, eat pie for dinner with no seconds, and hold a fundraising party. A dozen make a demonstration, 100 fill a hall, 1,000 have solidarity and your own newsletter, 10,000 power and your own paper, 100,000 your own media, 10 million your own country. It goes on one at a time. It starts when you care to act. It starts when you do it again after they say no. It starts when you say we and know who you mean. And each day you mean one more. Marge Piercy, The Low Road. So going back to what they can do to you and what they can't do to you, and also Pat and Sandy's song about refugee. This song is one I wrote when children were being put in cages. There's one line that recurs a lot. You can sing it with me, and it's, well, you'll hear it when I get there. You can try to take my freedom. You can stop me at the border. You can throw me into prison in the name of law and order. You can tear my child out of my arms, try to send me home, but I won't go. I won't go. You better leave those babies alone. Sing that with me. You better leave those babies alone. You better leave those babies alone. You can try to build your wall up. You can ramp up all of that fear. You can tear down every freedom that made us want to come here. You can try to shame me, try to blame me, make fun of my fear, but I'm saying it clear. I'm saying it clear. You better leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. Sing it with me. Leave those babies alone. You better leave those babies in their mama's arms. Don't you touch a hair of their head. Don't do them no harm. You can't take a little child, put him in a cage at a tender age. How low can you go? Just leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. 'Cause I know about bullies and gangs and fear. I know about rapists. That's what got me here. I know more about you than you know about me. I've dealt with worse in my home country. I'll get my lyrics down here. Sorry. There's a lot of words to remember here. Okay, I'm going to do that section again. No, I'm not. So you can come with your guns, come with your tricks, claim I'll see my baby if I sign real quick. How low can you go? How far have you gone? You know you're gonna pay for this further on. 'Cause deep in the dark, deep in the night, something gonna wake you up deep inside. Something gonna trouble your heart and your mind. You'll look at your own kids, you'll think about mine. And I know this is true, like I know my own heart. It's more than my life getting torn apart by the ones with the money, the ones on high. They're playing you, brother, got you hooked on a lie. And you may feel like you're winning, like you got control. You just follow orders, keep your head low. But little by little, it takes a toll, and you're losing something. Call it your soul. And once the damage is done, there's no way to atone. It's too deep in the bone. So I'm telling you now, you better leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. For the sake of your soul, leave those babies. It's too late to atone. Leave those babies alone. Go home. Go home. Look at your children. Go home. Leave those babies alone. Leave those babies alone. You gotta leave those babies alone. Thank you. Wow. What an amazing rich night. Hey, you know what, Mel? I feel like I haven't heard quite enough of you, and we've got time. Would you be willing to do one more?
Sure.
Anything your heart desires.
Okay. Well, I was just thinking about this one, and you all, there's those of us who were here a few months ago when we had all the smoke and the madness and everything. And on that day, I was doing my daily walk, and I went outside, and the sky was about the same color as me at noon. And all of my neighbors and people out, they were so disoriented, and I could tell that they couldn't feel themselves. They just couldn't feel themselves. And so this song came to me because I thought, even though we can't see it, I know there is sun. So here's that. I know there is sun I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. It's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky. And it's not what we see, it's what we know. It's not what we see, it's what we know. And I know there is sun. I know there is sun. I know there are stars in the sky.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Hey, Emma's, you got a kind of quiet one you want to pull out? Or I believe her. I'm still interested in that, but do one more, whatever you like.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll do the quiet one.
Yeah. Should we do that quiet one?
Yeah, and
Would you rather do it at the same
no,
time?
it's fine. No. I just want to say that I love the Melanie right up to the screen. And I got myself one of those screenshots of Melanie looking right at us and singing, I know there is sun. It's beautiful. Couldn't be more beautiful. Thank you so much for being you. So beautiful.
This one, this is an older one, but it came at a time when, you know, as you said, Betsy, it sounds like you were writing this song for the girls, but you were writing it for you. And I thought I was writing this for my friends who were discouraged and despairing, and I realized that I was so writing it for myself. It's funny how songs reveal just what we need sometimes. Even when we don't know we need it. We are living beneath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together, some in power, some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that we live beside. Loving spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. I am alone and I am searching, hungering for answers in my time. I am balanced at the brink of wisdom. I'm impatient to receive a sign. I move forward. on this journey through thoughts and feelings, finding intuition, my head, my heart. I am gathering the tools together. I'm preparing to do my part. All of those who've come before me, band together and be my guide. Loving lessons that I will follow. We're all swimming to the other side. We are living beneath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power, some in pain. We can worship this ground we woke on, cherishing the beings that leave beside. Loving the spirits that live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. When we get there, we'll discover all of the gifts we've been given to share have been with us since life's beginning, and we never noticed they were there. We can balance the brink of wisdom, never recognizing that we've arrived. Loving the spirits that live together, we're all swimming to the other side. We are living beneath the great big dipper. We are washed by the very same rain. We are swimming in the stream together. Some in power, some in pain. We can worship this ground we walk on, cherishing the beings that live beside. Loving the spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side. Loving the spirits will live forever. We're all swimming to the other side.
I was so hoping you were going to do that.
Aw, yay!
That's so nice. You know, I was just talking to Bernardo Palumbo, a friend of ours from New York City from many, many years ago, and he said that Leon Gieco, a wonderful Argentinian singer and songwriter, whose songs I know because Pete Seeger sang some of them, Solo Le Pido Adios and songs like that. I just found out today that Leon Gieco is actually going to do a version of this song in Spanish.
Oh,
Who is that?
And
Swimming to the other side.
I'm swimming to the other side. I was so excited to hear that.
oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
cool. That's the first time I'm hearing about
Yeah.
it too, folks. This is
I
good
only
news.
just heard, earlier today.
Yeah,
Such a great
that's-
song.
Oh.
Thank you.
Well, it's so deserving. You channeled something so deep in that song, Pat. You know, it's gone around the world. It's in all of our hearts. I just put some of the lyrics in the chat. I don't think I got all of them, but it's just such a classic. And I think, tonight we've talked a little bit about how songs travel. You know, they really do have a life of their own, and they should. You know, and one of the greatest compliments a writer can receive in the folk world is to have a song be called anonymous. Like it goes into
Right.
into the woods. In fact, I went to an event with Thrive Street Choir, some folks from Thrive Choir doing sing-alongs, and they asked the group if anybody had a song to share, and somebody said, "Oh, I've got one I want to lead," and she said, "Song I do with children," and she got up and she did all the motions, and she did about 2 phrases, and I thought, that's my song. And it got all the way. I didn't know her, she didn't know me, and it's so funny. But it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. Anyway. You know, you all have just been amazing tonight. I just don't even have words. And I know I've been watching the chat. People are just so happy, so moved, so grateful. This is what keeps us going in in all times, but in very hard times. So I just thank you on behalf of all of us. And if you save the chat, folks, you can read all the cool stuff in there. And you just go down to the bottom of the chat. There's these little buttons, these little dots. You click on the dots. It says save chat, and you got it. And that's a good thing. So we are moving in on our closing. I want to just make a couple of announcements. First of all, again, I want to thank everybody for coming, especially welcome to folks I haven't met officially on this Thursday night format. If you RSVP'd and got a link for this, you are now on my mailing list. Now, I'm sure you're all thrilled about that, but if you're not, if there's just one too many emails coming in, just next time you get an email from me, just unsubscribe. No hurt feelings. I won't even notice. It'll just be gone. But I kind of hope you stay. And I want to tell you that next weekend I'm doing a special event on Saturday, the 13th. And it is an event honoring the year anniversary of when most of us went indoors and began to live a very different life and adapt to something we didn't know how to do and that we've been learning. And there's been a lot of loss. There's been loss of life. There's been loss of connections with friends and people. There's been loss of touch. There's been loss of our country in many ways. There's a lot of layers of loss, and the planet that, Pat and Sandy sang about so vividly and beautifully. So I wanted to just take an evening to just honor that and hold that together. So we're going to have a very beautiful evening. I can't think of the name of it right now, but you'll get an invitation if you stay on my list. I'm going to have a few guest artists. Gary LaPoe and Abby Vernon are going to come. Gary writes, they both write incredible songs about the impermanence of life in this body, in this form, and make it so sacred and so healing. I just love listening to their music. Lisa Cohen, who's here tonight, I believe, is going to join us for a really, really beautiful song as well. And I have a couple of other people unconfirmed at this point. So it's March 13th, Saturday, 5 p.m., a little earlier for you East Coast folks. And again, if you're on my mailing list, you'll get an email about it very soon. So I hope to see many of you on that night. And that's about all I have to say. Again, we're so grateful for your donations. We've raised a lot of money on my Thursday nights and been sending money to some of the women's groups in Kenya and the youth in Nepal, and also a little project in India that I'm very, very attached to. It's been wonderful to have a circle of generosity going on these evenings. It's really been filling my heart. So tonight can be one of those nights. And I also know that we really want to honor and support our beloved guest artists so much. And so be as generous as you can. If this isn't your season to give money, doesn't matter. It's all freely. We give it freely to you. You give freely as you can. So I think that's it.
Thanks,
And
Betsy.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Melanie and Emma's, why don't you say any farewells you want to say, and then we're going to do a closing song.
Bless your bones, everybody. Keep singing, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, hang in there. This has been a long year. It is being a long year. It seems like it's been much longer, but thank goodness for Betsy and for all of these opportunities for us to all be together. We're really grateful.
Yeah, and I wanted to say we do a weekly workshop called Learn an Emma's Revolution Song, and we'll be doing that version of Bread and Roses that you heard. So if you wanted to learn the guitar part or the vocal or the harmony, come join us on Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We've got a bunch of things this month, and that's almost all on our website, but you can check it out, and we'd love to have you. And thank you again for bringing us together. We couldn't be more happy than to sing with both of you. And, soon, when it's safe, we can sing together in person, and I can't wait to do that.
Yeah. Amen.
Let's meet at the Freight. How about that?
Yeah, I'm thinking, let's just do this live, just what we did tonight. Yeah, I'm down.
You are on.
And what I was thinking about is at that time, we won't know all the little thoughts that are in every audience member's head, which now we do, thanks to the chat.
I think we have
I do imagine you all and your thoughts.
I'm going to miss the chat. I'm really going to miss it. Hey, Marianne, would you put the contact information for the artists? Oh, you just did. Thank you very much. Emma's Revolution and Melanie are in the chat now. If you want to go to their websites and look at what they're up to, that's great. Okay, so the Emmas are going to lead us in a closing song that many of us know. Take it away.
Right. This is one of those songs, Betsy, that I walked into a room. This has happened many times actually, where I've walked into a room and somebody has said, "Oh, I have this old gospel song," and they've started singing this. I'm like, I happen to have written that old gospel song.
But it's not interesting. But that's
Yeah.
it's just a cool ass song. That's all.
So,
That's great. That's just
I-
great.
I'm grateful that folks have taken this song to all the places they have taken it to and shared it. So so please sing it with us, and we're going to sing it in English and in Spanish tonight. So
Jump in wherever you like.
gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Sigamos adelante. Siempre adelante. Siempre adelante. Sin volver atrás. Sin volver atrás.
Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. No, never turning back.
Amaremos con pasión. Siempre con pasión. Siempre con pasión. Sin volver atrás. Sin volver atrás. Gonna reach across our borders. Reach across our borders. Reach across our borders. Never turning back. Never turning back. Vivamos sin fronteras. Siempre sin fronteras. Siempre sin fronteras. Sin volver atrás. Sin volver atrás.
Welcome, Betsy.
Gonna reunite the families. Gonna reunite the families. Sing it with me. Reunite the families. Never turning back. Never turning back. Take it home.
Familias reunidas. Familias reunidas. Siempre reunidas. Sin volver atrás. Sin volver atrás. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. 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 Never turning back.
All right, everyone, you can now unmute. Marianne, can you help everybody to unmute so we can make some noise and really give that live audience?